Hi and welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, I add another vintage RC buggy to my collection. This one I've been hunting for quite a long time. Now, when I was up at Potteries last week, if you haven't seen that, I went outdoor racing for the first time. I put a link up here. Go check it out after this video. But while I was there, I arranged to collect this in person, as I didn't really want to put this in the post. And as per the title, you probably already know, this is a beautiful example Traxxas TRX-1. Now, this was a buggy that was released by Traxxas all the way back in 1991 under kit 2701, and they are rare. Very rare, in fact. And I love the idea that Traxxas actually brought out what was a proper racing buggy, and it actually did really well. So I've been digging through the history of it, and I was actually surprised just how successful it was. So this won the 1992 Raw Championships. Also, it won the National Championships in France, Austria and New Zealand. It also won the Reedy Race of Champions in the UK. So it has got some serious pedigree. And then when we think of Traxxas today, you would never think it, would you? But they actually made this. It's a bit of a weird looking one. It has a very strange body that's supposed to be aerodynamic, but it kind of, you kind of like it, kind of don't like it. But I think it makes it give it its own character. Now, there is a few bodies that you can get for this aftermarket. You can get these bodies, but there's also someone that's made a different design body for it that probably makes it look a little bit nicer. But I'm happy with the body that it came with. I have been tinkering with it since it came, which is why when you do some close-up shots, you'll probably notice that the edging tape is not finished on it, as I ran out, so I needed to order some more, as I did around the windows. And I've just started doing the separation of the paint just to make it look a bit more crisp. I ran out, but there we go. So what else can I tell you about this one? It's a graphite chassis with graphite towers. It's got universal drive shafts. It's got a bell crank steering that was taken from the Bullet, apparently. It's got a 3-gear Pro Series transmission that was made deliberately for this car. Hard anodized Teflon coated oil shocks. And basically they threw the kitchen sink at this one. It wasn't like a very basic Traxxas was back then. They actually put quite a lot of effort into trying to make a proper racing buggy, and they actually achieved. When you actually look at what this would race against in the Iconic Cup, for instance, you'd be quite difficult to run one, as replacement parts are just impossible and they are a little bit brittle. But you would be going up against things like the Super Astute, the Cougar 2 Works, to name just a few. So unfortunately, Traxxas, whether they're going to bring this back out again, I'd be very surprised that they would go back and release something like, I wish they would, something like this for the vintage fans. I mean, it would definitely sell, but I don't think it really fits with what Traxxas are trying to achieve these days. But I really wanted to add something that is just a little bit different to the channel. So it came with full bearings, and the chassis is a graphite chassis, has a 30-degree kick up at the front. This one is in lovely condition. Obviously the body and wing are aftermarket and the tires are not correct, but the actual tops of the shocks are not all gouged out, and it doesn't look like it's done lots of work. Obviously it has a plastic polycarbonate base on it, so that protects that gorgeous chassis. Now, I did have a look to see whether you can actually get many parts for this, and the only parts really I found, apart from getting a aftermarket body, was soon there'll be carbon towers and a carbon chassis, and I found them on L&L, but they say they're coming. So whether you'd be brave enough to run one of these or not, I honestly don't know. Now, I was lucky enough to get this at a very reasonable price, but they can demand quite big money if you can find one at all. And I had a look around to see what had sold on eBay. There's just nothing really on there at all. The only thing I'm thinking about doing next is I might smoke the windows a little bit just to tint them slightly, but I need to give it a good clean, but I'll do that off camera. But it's just one to go into the collection. But I thought, hey, while I've got it, I might as well do a little video on it just to show you what I've got. What I need to know is what electronics should I put in this? If you remember these going around the track, or you raced one of these back in the day, I want to know what electronics, what motor I should put in this that kind of fits. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go off and do a bit of research and see what I can find that came out around the 1991, 92, 93 and then see if I can hunt some down, as I'd like to put some electronics in it. But absolutely gorgeous, and really chuffed to be able to add something like this to the collection. And for me, it kind of fits perfectly into the camp of like the JRX-2, for instance. They're just iconic buggies that unfortunately we just haven't seen re-released. Hopefully, maybe Traxxas, maybe Lucy, please. Thanks so much. See you on the next one. Bye bye.